Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. We are fired up for Wildcard weekend. We're getting wild already. Thank you to all the youngsters in the neighborhood for introducing me on this beautiful Friday evening. How you ever doing out there, everybody? Welcome in to the Fantasy Garage. It is me, Destino, and we are ready to rock and roll. Going to close up the garage. Normally we keep it open. For whatever reason, it's a little warmer here than normal. Got a beautiful 70-degree night. Sorry, all you people up north that are freezing. But we have got to close the garage. These mosquitoes, I'm telling you, these mosquitoes are on steroids tonight. They're like this big. I'm telling you, it is insane. There's one right there. You probably just saw me clap it. Nuts, these mosquitoes. So we're shutting the garage. We're going to get cozy. We're going to lock in. These mosquitoes are absolutely horrible. And we're going to lock in for an unbelievable show. We're going to lead you right up to Indiana and Oregon. Make sure you like and subscribe. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe. Share it with your friends. Put it on your Instagram, whatever. I'm still learning that dang Instagram, but I'm trying to get a little bit better with it. But we are so happy to have you. We've got a lot to cover tonight. We got the UConn Mug, the UConn Huskies. How about that ball game on Wednesday night against Providence? If you're a college basketball fan, that was one of the best college games I have seen all year. Obviously, I'm a little biased. Providence couldn't miss a shot. They played the game of their lives, and UConn still found a way to win. Unbelievable overtime game. But that's not what you're here for, right? We're going to cover more college basketball when the NFL ends. You're here for the NFL. You're here for Wild Card weekend. Little Bailey's and coffee to get me going. Destino's got to try to stay up late and watch this game because guess what? I fell asleep last night. Fell asleep at halftime. Ole Miss and Miami. The U. It's all about the U, baby. The U is back. What a game. I know a little controversy at the end. I saw that. That's tough, you know. And I'm of the mentality. I know they're talking about, if you didn't see it, there was a Hail Mary play at the end. It wasn't even really a Hail Mary. Normally Hail Mary I see is 3-4 guys from both teams. Actually, it's usually 3-4 receivers and probably 6 defenders. That's why it makes it such a tough play. All there for a jump ball, right? Hoping for a tip, hoping for whatever. That was more, he was trying to hit that one guy. I know maybe it's not the popular opinion, but I have to sort of agree. And this is coming from somebody who liked Ole Miss. And I teased Ole Miss with Oregon tonight, which we'll get to that game shortly. So I had them plus 10.5, and I got Oregon tonight plus 10.5. So fingers crossed on that one. It's got to be egregious late in the game, right? I mean, nobody wants to go to a ball game for that long. What's it, 60 minutes in college? I don't know if it's 60 or if it's less than that. I know it's 60 in the NFL. Or go to a basketball game and watch a college basketball game for 40 minutes and have a ticky-tack call decide the outcome, right? It's got to be egregious, right? I forget what Super Bowl it was a handful of years ago, but they called a terrible flag late in the game. And it's like, I don't want the refs to ever be a part of the game, right? And I feel like there's some controversy. Yes, there's some people that are a little bit upset that that call wasn't made, but I feel like way more would be upset if that call was made because it was borderline, right? And I feel like if you're going to call a late foul in a basketball game or a late flag in an NFL game like that, it better be legit. It better be 100% justified. So kudos to Miami. The U is back. A lot of fun. College basketball is better with them being good. They're just, one of the blue blood college football schools, right? And it's been a little while for them. It's been a big drought. When I was younger, I was a kid. Miami was the school, man. They had all the guys. They had all the cool guys were on the team. That was the team that you wanted to root for. I grew up kind of being a Nebraska fan, so I kind of rooted against them. Nebraska and Miami had a lot of good games. But anyhow, it's good to see the U back. That brings us to tonight's game. If you saw my short on the channel earlier, I like Oregon. I think there's a little bit of a revenge factor. I like that angle that they've already played, and I like taking the team that lost. It's, you don't get usually 3 times, obviously, in football, but they're always the old saying in college basketball, hard to beat a team 3 times in a season, right? So college basketball league play, usually play twice, then maybe you meet in the conference tournament or maybe you meet in the NCAA tournament. Tough to beat that team 3 times. I see that going on a little bit. I see this kid for Oregon, the quarterback there, kind of going on one of those magical runs, sort of like you see in the NCAA tournament. I've been lucky enough to be a part of it twice where the point guard, right? Shabazz Napier, Kemba Walker kind of just puts the team on their back and carries him to a championship. And I think this Dante Moore kid has a little bit of that in him and may be able to sort of will his team to the title. I think it's going to be a close game. I really don't see a blowout one way or the other. Therefore, why not take the 3.5? And if you followed the show, you come on here and you watch, you know that we love underdogs, right? We're kind of big on the underdogs, and you'll see that as a theme with Wildcard Weekend. But we really, we just like the 3.5 in a close game. Why not give me the points? I mean, so many things could happen. You could have a backdoor, right? Indiana could be up 10, and you could get a late score where, they take their foot off the gas pedal. They go into that prevent defense, and they're not trying to do anything. They're just kind of letting Oregon matriculate down the field and waste time. So I could see multiple angles for that game. Also, like Oregon first half, plus 2.5. So I think that's live again. Two close teams, and why not take the points, in my opinion? So I want to do a little quick recap, nothing too crazy, because we want to get into the meat and potatoes of the show. We're going to try to keep it short and sweet. Short for me is an hour and a half. So we're going to try to keep it right to 8 o'clock so you guys can get to the Indiana-Oregon game. I'm actually excited to see this game. And not only from a college perspective, obviously a good game, but I want to see these two quarterbacks, right? I'm a huge dynasty football player, okay? I'm also a huge fantasy football player in general and huge NFL fan. I want to see what these quarterbacks are about. I want to see, this is the time where I start seeing a little bit of college football because, truth be told, I don't watch a ton of college football throughout the season. But this is where I watch Mendoza, everybody calling him the number one pick to the Raiders. We'll see what happens. And this Moore kid, talking about him coming out possibly being number 2 to the Jets or being a top 5 pick in general. So I'm anxious to see if I see what they see, right? If you remember the college playoffs 3-4 years ago, maybe it was 4 years ago, I think, with CJ Stroud. And I didn't watch a lot of college football. And I watched that Ohio State-Georgia game, and I absolutely fell in love with CJ Stroud. He became my guy. So absolutely love CJ Stroud. I think he kind of had a sophomore slump, and this was his third year. It was a little bit better, but I still believe in CJ Stroud's talent. So I'm interested to see this Mendoza and this Dante Moore. Now, what I want to recap, we've talked about our fantasy teams on here. We talk about a lot of fantasy players, obviously, because fantasy and prop bets kind of go hand in hand, right? Obviously, if we like a guy's props, from time to time, that means we like them in fantasy, right? Because what are props? Props is almost like sort of fantasy football to a point. Had a good year. I had a very good year. I infamously or famously, whatever you want to call it, have 14 dynasty leagues. I know it's a lot. And I've got 4 redraft leagues. Happy to let you know I won 2 leagues. I won 2 of my redraft leagues. Very proud of that. Had a 3rd place in my biggest money league, which actually I won double my money because it's a hefty buy-in, but they pay out first, second, third, even 4th. I think gets their money back. But I came in 3rd, and it's crazy. And I'm sure you all have these stories, and nobody wants to hear anybody's sob stories or sad stories. But my team crapped the bed in semifinals in that league, and I played a guy who went nuts. I think he had Puka. That was the week that he had 3 guys and they all went nuts. I was down 120 to 10 through 3 players for him or something. It was absurd. He just went absolutely nuts. And so he went and had 110 points. If I would have made and I made it a ball game, I lost by 30. If I would have made it to I blew everybody out in the finals. But that's okay. And then in my dynasty leagues, I had 14 of them. I won 4, and I got 1 runner-up and 1 third place win. So it was a good fantasy. Listen, we don't do, you're not doing this as a job per se, but I take it seriously, right? We're playing for some money, and I had a very good return on my investment here. Oh, it's good to see. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Keith Rice, an old friend from Willamette, Connecticut on there. And actually a radio personality himself. I'm glad to see you come on here, man. Thanks for coming on. I'm going to get to the plays any second here. Just giving a quick recap of my fantasy season. So, and again, nobody wants to hear everything about your season. But just so you know, I'm pretty proud of that achievement. Winning 4, splitting 1, or 2nd and 1, 3rd and 1, and then winning 2 of my redrafts, and then the other 1 third. So I had a very good year. It was a very happy new year. And we hope you're having a happy 2026. Again, thanks for being on there, Keith. Old Willimantic Little League days. He's a radio personality for oh my God, why am I forgetting? Keith, write it in the chat. Oh my God, why am I forgetting the Willimantic FM station? 98.3. I-98. There we go. Is it still I-98? He's the best, man. He is the best. You want to talk energy, DJ, guy that loves his hometown. He is like that perfect hometown DJ, and proud and happy to say that he's a friend of mine. And if you don't follow him on anything, follow him on his social medias. He's awesome, man. He's the best. But now we're going to have Jay Joseph on here with us shortly. Hopefully, if he can figure out how to get on to the channel, he should be able to figure it out. But he will be on here shortly. You know, Jay, he's our big Bears guy, and he's got to be on Cloud 9, WILI, and I-98.3. There you go. And that's our boy Keith Rice, man. He's the man. There he is. So we're going to get to the games here, Keith. We're going to start. Obviously, we're going to kind of go in chronological order here. We're going to go with Saturday's games. 1 o'clock Saturday, we're going Rams at Carolina. Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate you. If I hear that from you, that means I'm doing something right. And again, I'm no professional here. I'm a guy who loves sports. Feel like I have a little bit of the gift of gab, so I'm having a blast. So to hear that from somebody who's a professional who gets paid to actually do what he's doing, I appreciate that, man, Keith. Thank you so much, man. Share it with people. Hey, get some, help us get some subscribers. Appreciate it, brother. Anything you can do. So we're going to Carolina. All right, this is a Saturday 4:30 game, I believe. And before I keep going, I want to give a shout out. I got a producer now, man. Drizzy Drin is in the house. He's my producer. He's putting those things. You see that? Those graphics ended up on that ended up on the screen. I didn't touch anything. So I got a guy helping me out. He's putting up some of the stats, some of the little numbers and whatnot. So appreciate Drizzy Drin being on here. Thank you so much, man. I look forward to working with you as we continue to grow the Pop Sports Network and continue to grow Weekend Update with Dustino. All right, so there you have it. You see it right there, Saturday, 4:30. Let's see, because now, listen, we got to look at this crap now, man, because you got to know, like, where to watch the damn games, right? Oh, my God, is that nuts, right? Like, on Christmas, wasn't it like 2 games on Netflix, 1 game on Amazon, they're going on Peacock. They're all over the map, man. It's out of control. So I'm trying to find out where we got to watch these dang games at. So Saturday, January 10th. So this is going to be on Fox. All right, so we got a Fox game, old school, right? Even your grandfather or your aunt could find this one since it's on Fox. So Rams-Panthers, rematch of a game played in week 14. What week did they play? Let's see. I think they played week 14 that the Carolina Panthers beat them in Carolina, and we're back in Carolina here. And, yes, that was, let's see, that was week 13. So not that long ago where Carolina shocked the LA Rams. And I've been telling you for the last handful of weeks that I think the Rams peaked in that week 9, week 10, week 8 kind of area. And you're starting to see a little bit of chinks in the armor. Stafford still putting up big numbers. There's no doubt about it. Puka Nacua is unreal. I mean, the guy's unbelievable, Puka Nacua. Absolutely ridiculous. The catches he makes, the point in the run up to the catch, how this guy slipped to the 5th round. What the Rams have been doing is unbelievable. Because, right, if you remember a couple years back, the Rams, everybody said, they're in cap hell. They have no picks. They traded all their draft picks, right? They went all in to win that championship. They emptied the cupboard, so to speak, to win that championship, right? But when you nail guys in the 5th round, in the 3rd round, that end up becoming superstars, I mean, arguably the best receiver in the league, right? You got Chase, you got JSN, and you got Puka. And you got, my opinion, Malik Neighbors, right? But obviously he missed the season being hurt. I mean, when you nail that in the 5th, and all those other guys are 1st-round picks, right? JSN, Chase, Neighbors, top picks. You find a guy in the 5th round, that's like found money, right? It's like waking up from a night at the bars and you go to your jeans and you open your wallet and there's a crumpled up 20 in there. That's found money right there. Getting a guy like Puka Nacua is unbelievable. But we talked about the Rams sort of peaking, and if you look at it, the Rams are struggling. 3-3 their last 6, right? 12-5 overall. But 3-3 their last 6 games, right? Losses against Seattle. Obviously, that's a legit loss. Losing at Atlanta, right? Not a team you expect them to lose to. Losing at Carolina, right? So very interesting. And now you have the Rams favored by 10.5 on the road. And if you follow this show, you know we are always looking for underdogs. Number one, we should change the name of the show maybe to underdogs because we're always trying to find the underdogs. But a 10.5 point underdog at home after you already beat them. And I got a team that's a little banged up in the Rams. Davante Adams is going to play. But How fresh is he? A hamstring? I mean, one hard cut, one sprint, and oh my God, if you had Puka Nacua and St. Brown, good night. Yeah, I bet. Oh, you lost in your finals. Yeah, and you know what? And that brings up another point. We'll get back to Rams Panthers. There's so much variance in fantasy football, and so I was getting killed. A lot of the guys. Sorry, I'm trying to still got mosquitoes that snuck in here. A lot of the guys in my fantasy leagues, right? I have had the strategy in my dynasty leagues that get me to the playoffs and let's see what happens because there's so much variance. And it's one of the things I like playing poker. I probably haven't played poker in 15 years. But remember when the poker boom hit and poker was I was on every channel, it seemed like, got huge where they were putting the World Series of Poker on TV on ESPN. And No Limit Hold'em was like the biggest thing for like a 2, 3, 4 year stretch, right? And I would go play. I enjoy playing poker, and I know the strategy of the game. I'm not saying I'm some amazing player, but I know hey, I got some outs. I got a good hand. I know when people are fishing, blah, blah, blah. You could do everything right and still lose because there's variance, and that's what makes it hard. But that's also at the same time why they play the games, right? If they didn't play this game, I mean, if you ran a computer generation, the Rams are going to probably win this game 85% of the time. Not necessarily cover, but they're going to win the game maybe 85% of the time. However, that's why they play the games. And that's the same thing in fantasy. So my whole thing has been get to the playoffs. All my teams that won, I had one team that won that was the 2 seed going into the playoffs. So all these dynasty leagues are typically 6 teams make the playoffs. You usually have 12 teams, 6 make it, 2 get a bye. I think I had 1 2 seed. I had 2 2 seeds. One of my 2 seeds lost in the finals. The other one ended up winning the championship because they just won the championship. The other ones that won were like 5 seeds and a 4 seed. All right. I didn't see very many of the 1 seeds in my fantasy leagues go on to win the championship. So there's variance, just like, again, playing poker. What kind of used to drive me nuts with poker is I'd do everything right. I'd make all the right plays. I'd have, by far and away the strongest hand going into it. And then, boom, somebody gets you on the river, right? And that's variance. What are you going to do? You can do all the right things, but people can get lucky on you, right? You can run into a Puka who just absolutely goes berserk. You could run into, you name it, Josh Allen, I think, in one of the games before he hurt his foot. I think it was the first week of the fantasy playoffs, so that would have been week 15. Went berserk, scored 50 points. If you run into that guy, there's nothing you can do, right? So get in the playoffs, see what happens, let variance take over. I had a lot of Drake May in my leagues, which obviously helped me. He continued to play great, played unbelievable. Even that game against the Jets where, he gets out at, basically just after halftime, still was able to put up 4 touchdowns against the Jets. So again, anything can happen when you get there. So back to the Rams Panthers. Panthers getting 10.5 points, 46.5 is the total. Actually, I think Drin put these numbers together. I don't know, probably midway through the day. I have seen the most updated. It's 45.5, so it's gone down a little. You got 67 degrees and a little bit of rain. Good rain chance. And remember, when you're an underdog, rain, wind, snow, anything that could make the ball bounce a little funny is always good for the underdog, okay? So I'm getting a home team getting 10.5 points who already beat this team. And again, a team that's a little older, certainly wiser, there's no doubt. McVay's an amazing coach. Matthew Stafford's going to win MVP, in my opinion, because I think anybody who's on the fence, you're going to give it to the veteran. You're going to give it as almost like a career achievement award, right? Stafford hasn't won an MVP. They're going to look at it and go, hey, Drake May's got plenty of years to win MVP. And what Stafford's doing, especially early in the season when everybody was nervous on Stafford, right? He didn't play the entire preseason. He barely practiced because of that back issue. And if you've ever had back issues, I have, it is not fun, okay? And that's just me day-to-day life, not being an NFL quarterback. So there was a lot of questions. So for him to come out and have the season that he's had has been unbelievable. But I think they peaked in the middle of the season. I think they're slowing down a little bit. I think the Panthers are going to come out. They're going to try to run the ball as much as they can. If you look back on that game against the Rams when they played them week 13, they ran for a ton of yardage. Dowdle and Hubbard had huge games. And so I am leaning toward the Panthers here, plus 10.5. Give me the home dog. And again, worst case scenario with a huge spread like that, you're getting 10.5 points. What's the worst case? Maybe the Rams are up 14 late. Maybe they're up 20 late, right? Maybe they're up whatever. it's easy to take your foot off the gas pedal, but I like the home dog. I think, the Rams, are they going to travel to Carolina, the Rams fans? That's going to be 90% Panthers fans. First of all, the Rams and the Chargers have the small, and maybe the Raiders have the smallest home field advantage to begin with because they get so many transient people and so many people want to travel those warm climates. I don't see a lot of Rams fans traveling to Carolina. This is going to be a big game for them. I think the Panthers try to muck it up, try to run the ball a lot, all those kind of things. A couple things I'm looking at, and we'll get to some more when we give our official plays at the end. Going back to that Rico Dowdle thing and going back to, I got to look at these numbers, and this is why we do this here live. We kind of collaborate here together and work on it. I do some research, obviously, but we got to collaborate and look at these numbers. I like Chuba Hubbard, and I know I had it last week, and it was a loser last week, but we had Chuba Hubbard over 8.5 receiving yards. He got 2 catches. You can't ask for more to get over 8.5 receiving yards. Now, he caught 1, which was -1 yard, and his second catch was 7 yards. So we missed it by 2 yards. So we may be going back to the well. And if you look back to the box score in that game, he was when they played the Rams, he and Dowdle both had 2 catches for well over 20 yards. So they were using the running backs again. They don't want to put the ball in Bryce Young's hand 30, 40 times if they don't have to. They are going to try to run the ball. I think first half under is not a bad play because I think they're going to try to establish the run. You see it every time in the Super Bowl. If you just take the Super Bowl and you bet first half under, and specifically first quarter under, you're making a killing. You're going to make a living off of it because the teams are trying to feel themselves out in the playoffs. I know they've played already. I think the over is inflated because of when they played. The score was what was the score? 31-28, so 59 points. Don't let that one fool you. There were some interceptions. There were some weird plays that happened in the game. There were some busted coverages. I think under first half, especially in a playoff game, is also a great play. But yeah, Chuba Hubbard's right back at that 8.5 receiving yard number. I like it. He's been the third down back since he came back. I think they're going to run the ball. I think they're going to be in a lot of third downs. Rams defense is strong. So why not take that running back? 8.5 yards. We love it. We're marking it down. There's your first official play there, Keith Rice. There's your first official play from Destino. We're taking Chuba Hubbard. And I'm writing these down because I got to thumbnail them later, and I'll put them in the chat if you miss it. Chuba Hubbard, over 8.5 receiving yards. Absolutely love it. I also want to look at Rico Dowdle's carries. I think he's 15 carries at least. It's probably going to be in that neighborhood, so we might not have some value. Let's see what we got here for rush attempts for Rico Dowdle. Oh, geez, Louise. Yeah, you know what? 15 rush attempts is plus 155. I kind of like that. I want to check here. Let's take a look at Rico Dowdle and see how the carries are going. Now, obviously, this kind of correlates with Carolina. So if you like Carolina, you're going to like this Dowdle number, right? Because obviously they're going to be running the ball. If they get behind 14-0, they may have to abandon the run. But let's see. Rushing attempts for Dowdle. The last handful there's a reason it's plus money. So 7 last week, and they ran the ball terribly. Now, that was a sloppy field. Running the ball and slop is not easy. It's actually a benefit to the passing game, not the running game. 12 attempts, 9 attempts. So week 13 and week 15, he got to that number. But the last 3 weeks, he has not got to that number. So I can see why it's plus. We'll revisit that one. But at plus 155, and that's why we like taking these plus money ones. Think about it. If you put $20 on it, you're going to win $31, right? If you take plus monies, you take another one and you lose. You just got to go 50-50 and you make money. And again, this is all having fun. You should only be doing anything with any of this stuff that it's fun, right? It's your going out to eat money. It's your going to the movies money. It's, we're not going nuts here, okay? So just remember to be responsible out there, okay? This is just us talking, having fun. You got a different idea? You got a different opinion? Please put it in the chat. We'd love to put you on screen. Drin will put you up there. Love to have the chat. And so that's my thoughts on that game. The other thing I want to look at, kind of like looking at Davante Adams' number. So 54.5, I'd lean under there. I'm not going to fully touch it because, to be honest with you, I see that he's going to play. But coming back after being out 3 weeks with a hamstring, the guy's 33 years old. One cut where you go a little hard, you push that hamstring. I'd be a little nervous. I'd be nervous about taking that number. Now, one I do like, Puka Nacua, over 91.5. That number's high, but it's not high enough. That guy's unreal. Puka Nacua, I mean, that guy is he's absurd. I mean, he may be the best. He's in the top 3-4 receivers for sure. And Puka Nacua has gone over 100, and even the Carolina game went 7 for 97, so he would have hit. So he's gone over that 91.5 number. 1, 2, 3, 4 of his last 6 games. I think they're going to feed him heavily. Not going to make an official play, but that's one to look at. All right. Anyhow, that's enough, I think, on the Rams and Panthers game. Let's go to a game that we're very excited about. And we're also very excited to bring in our special guest. He's been on twice now, maybe 3 times. We're excited to bring in our Chicago Bears expert, super fan, the Bears. See if he's eating some sausages or some brats. Jay Joseph is now joining the show. Welcome in, Jay.
What's up, Dustino?
How you doing? How
good,
fired
brother.
up are you for tomorrow night?
I'm pretty fired up, and I'm going to be lying if I say I'm not nervous, buddy. But, it's been 15 years since the Bears last won a playoff game. We're due here.
Jeez, so, I didn't even know that. 15 years.
Yeah, 15 years. Jay Cutler.
When were you last in the playoffs?
COVID year. They were the 7th seed and got rolled by the Saints in New Orleans in the wild card.
Gotcha. Yeah, you don't want to go play in New Orleans.
Nah.
Yeah, I am really fired up for this game tomorrow night. Give us your quick thoughts. Let's see if we can blow you up on the screen a little bigger here. There we go. Now we got you. Drin's on it, baby.
There you go.
Let's have your thoughts before I get going. Give us your thoughts on the game. Obviously, you said you're nervous, so you're a realist.
Nervous.
I like to think that you and I are realistic fans. We're not down here going, Bears are going to win by 30.
Right.
We're telling it like it is. Give me your thoughts on the game.
Listen, the Bears' biggest weakness is that defense. They don't force takeaways. They have no pass rush. It's hit or miss. They don't do a lot of exotic things to get scheme guys to get to the quarterback. It drives me crazy every week. They just rush for it, and no pressure. Jordan Love's healthy. He gets time to go downfield. That's the part that makes me nervous. Offense, as everybody watches the games, it takes 3 quarters sometimes for them to realize there's a game going on. It drives me bananas, right? If Caleb comes out hot and gets rolling, they can score with anybody. Look what they did with San Francisco a couple weeks ago. But the defense makes me nervous. I mean, working in the Bears' favor, it is going to be some typical Chicago weather. Looks like, I don't know, wind chill of like 9 degrees and accumulating snow. So
yeah,
hopefully Ben Johnson plays smart and we pound, run, and control the clock. Best defense is a good offense in that case,
Yeah, and you're right, 100%. You got gusts of wind up to 30 miles an hour, so typical Chicago game. And we're going to find out about Caleb, right? Because that was the big thing when he got drafted. Hey, this California kid, comes from beautiful weather. How's he going to hold up in windy, snowy, cold Chicago? But I like your chances, and I'm going to come out. We're not going to – there's no discussing. And this is not to glaze you up because you're my buddy and the Bears. The Bears are my best bet of the entire weekend. I absolutely love the Bears. +1.5, another home dog. I mean, this is like
four home dogs. 4 home dogs this weekend, buddy.
This is dogs. The weekend update's dream. We love home dogs. But here's my thing with the Bears. Number 1 in the NFL in turnover margin. They are a bend but don't break defense, which I don't mind, but they're very opportunistic.
Yes.
Get those turnovers. Even the Lions game. I mean, the Lions were moving the ball all over the place, but really didn't put up a ton of scores.
Right.
And something's not right with Green Bay. That defense is an absolute sieve. I know they didn't play a lot of their guys last week. Mm-hmm. Without Micah Parsons, that defense is completely different. They've been getting gashed against the run. You guys are, I can't remember exactly. I think you're number 1 in the NFL running the ball between Swift and Monunga. You're top 3 or 4 for
top
sure.
2 or 3 for sure. Top 2 or 3 line.
I think you guys are going to pound the ball. I think Jacobs is still a little banged up. And listen, Jacobs is going to get a heavy workload. And you guys haven't exactly been the best against the run.
No.
But a little bit of rust. Jordan Love hasn't played in 3 weeks.
Yep.
There's, the Packers assistant GM leaves. I don't know how much that is, but there's something seems weird, right? I'm hearing these rumors today that Mike LaFleur's on the hot seat.
I heard that too.
I mean, he'll have a job like Harbaugh. He'll have
Yeah,
7 footballs
tomorrow. Yeah, yeah, you can pick, right? Yeah, I don't understand that talk, the LaFleur talk. I mean, I hate Green Bay, but I respect what they do. And he's a great coach. What's
Awesome
crazy,
coach.
going on Green Bay. So everybody always assumes, they're always in the playoffs. They're the last. So LaFleur's been there. This is year 4, I believe, or
Mm-hmm.
he's made the playoffs the last 4 years, right?
Yeah.
7 seed, 7 seed, 7 seed, 7 seed, all 4
Wow.
times. No division wins. And if this was 6 years ago, out of the playoffs 4 years ago, so maybe that's where some of that talk is. Like, hey, you're just kind of limping in here, and you're
Yeah,
kind of
I
getting
guess
in.
they've had a lot of injuries
Maybe,
too, and listen. If the Packers were full strength, they were one of my favorites. I actually made
yes,
a play halfway through the season. I mean, they were like a long shot to win the Super Bowl. They were like 16-1. I think I threw $20 on it because I just, they had Parsons, they were running the ball, throwing the ball, all these different weapons. But now you got Watson a little banged up. You got Dontavian Wicks out. You got Love hasn't played in 3 weeks.
And
A little
Willis
bit
is
of
dinged up.
Rod.
So if Love struggles, might not be a Willis to turn to. So
Yeah,
that adds a wrinkle,
absolutely.
and obviously Kraft, you know what? Kraft, we've talked about it a little bit before, but Kraft was a big hit for them. I mean,
Huge.
that changed the whole offense. That was the
Safety
guy.
blanket. Yeah,
That's the guy right there. And that opens everything up for Watson. And one positive for the Bears D, they got Kyler Gordon back this
that's
week.
huge.
And if you look, I saw a stat today. Without Kyler Gordon, they're like 28th and whatever those
Yeah, DVOA.
whatever the DVOA. With Kyler Gordon in the lineup, they're 4th. So huge impact in the secondary. Jalen Johnson's back again. So their top 2 corners are back. They don't have CJ Gardner Johnson, but he had those great first couple of games, but he kind of slowed down. So with Gordon and Johnson back, hopefully full speed, the wind helps. Like you said, I hope Ben Johnson just realized just ride those backs into the ground. Just pound, pound, pound.
Run the heck out of the ball, man. DeAndre Swift was one of my favorite running backs coming out, and he
You loved
he gets
him.
crapped on a lot. Oh, I loved him when he first came out. He's had a good, solid season, man.
He's had a great year.
Very
He's
solid.
had a great year. And
that Manon guy, I think
Monanga,
Rutgers just teaches your guys to pitter patter their feet. Him and Pacheco, man, it's just like pitter patter your feet.
Just
he runs hard. That guy.
He runs hard.
The Packers D has just felt soft to me the last 3-4 weeks.
Yeah,
very soft.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, now this is why I like having Jay on with us. And you've been on a couple times, and both times you've been on, and I don't have the exact record. We've been absolutely on fire, or I've been on fire. I guess
on fire.
But the reason I like it is because you're not much of a gambler, right?
Right.
You look at the game from a game perspective. So what's cool with me, like I see a game, right? You announce a game, I'm immediately going, all right, what's the line? What's the over-under? I'm thinking in my head, oh, this should be a big game for so-and-so. This could be a big Colston Loveland game. What, big running back. Those are the things that go in my mind. So I have ideas about the numbers. I like to pick your brain as to like what you think numbers should be. And then with your knowledge and like, hey, Jay thinks so-and-so is going to catch 5 or 6 balls and his over-under is 2 or 3. I feel like we got an advantage there. So
I got one for you right off the rip. So I was having a look while I was getting ready to come on. I saw DeAndre Swift, right? So I'm looking at Swift because I think Monanga has been good, but watching the last 4 or 5 weeks, it's been heavy Swift. Monanga, not quite the burst, right? He gets you those 6 yards, but he tends to miss that second level cut that could just blow the game open. Get one of those explosive runs. He kind of freezes at that 8 to 9 yard mark, which is awesome. Don't get me wrong, but Swift's got that burst. So Swift's, I don't remember what his exact over under was, but Swift over 80. The line I saw was plus 225, 80 rushing. I love that for DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, I'm getting here. We have Hard Rock Bet down here. What do you guys have up there? DraftKings or FanDuel or whatever?
Yeah, both those. Yeah.
You have both those? Okay. Yep. Yeah, we only have in Florida, we only have Hard Rock, but I'm seeing Swift to get to 80 is plus 175.
So lower down
like
there. So 225 here is, I like
it. Hop on that for sure. And again, that's why we like these pluses. If we take that and we take the what was the other one we were talking about going plus money? I think it was Puka or whatever.
Oh, Puka,
you take plus. Was it Puka?
No, it was one of the backs. Wasn't it Dowdle?
Oh yeah, Dowdle. Yeah, if we took Dowdle to get to 60 or to get the 15 carries plus 155, all we got to do is split those, and you hit both, and now you're really cooking. I just hate laying. I hate laying huge juice like that. I want plus money in my favor.
Sure.
So yeah, I like it. Is that an official J play? I
That could
like
be
it.
an official J play. Yeah, I like
All
Swift.
right.
I like Swift big time
I
this
mean,
week.
his regular number, if you just take the regular, is 61.5. So to
Yeah,
get to 80, I mean, he's going to get 15 to 20 carries, is plus 175. So I'm going to write that down. Jay Joseph, we're going Swift to get to 80, and that's plus 175 here, plus 225 if you're somewhere else. And that's where, like, if you're up there, you guys have the advantage of looking at two different sports books.
right.
You find the one that gives you the better of the numbers. All right, but now your receiving core. Obviously, Ruma Dunze is going to try to come back,
He is
supposedly with
back.
the foot. He is back.
He is
Okay.
back.
But the emergence of Luther Burden, who I love coming.
I do too.
I
I
love
Luther.
We've been hyping that guy since week 3, week 4. Like, why
I
can't he get
think
on the
so.
field? Get Alameda Zacchaeus out of
Mhm.
there. He's been breaking out. Colston Loveland breaking out
Monster.
big
Yes.
time. I mean, the Bears could be a force for years to come. My goodness, that offense, Ben Johnson's the real deal. I just can't believe how quickly this turnaround has
It's
happened.
amazing. Yeah, it's
Right?
amazing.
Isn't it crazy? What would you put? Give me a stat line, realistic stat line that you think Loveland and Burden have. Now, granted, we got to remember there's wind and some snow.
And Rome's back.
But we've seen some snow games that have gone crazy with scoring. Right?
Yeah.
The offense knows where they're going. The defense doesn't.
Right.
If I know I'm about to cut right, you don't. I'm going
Right.
to have my footing okay. They might slip and fall.
Right. And Caleb's been good in the cold. He's been good in the cold. And he's actually a New Jersey guy. He played at USC, but he's from Jersey. So he likes the cold. I would say Loveland, I'm going to guess they put his catches around 4.5
Nailed it.
ish. Yeah.
4.5 plus 120, though.
Yeah.
21 targets the last 2 games.
I don't know if you watched the game last week. I mean, that Bear, that's all he threw to in the first half. I think he had 10 targets in the first half. So he is looking for Loveland anytime.
And I digress. 23 targets the last 2 games.
Yeah, he's been unbelievable. He's been unbelievable. So, I mean, that's plus money on a 4.5 is
there we go.
That's
I
like
hammer
it
that. Before
you
came on the show, I like it more now. You know, and in wind and stuff, what are you going to do? You're going to look for your safety blanket, right?
Of course.
And he's more that intermediate guy. Rome's more of the deep downfield guy. So we're going Colston Loveland over 4.5 receptions, plus 120. Love it. How about Luther Burden?
Luther with Rome back. And Caleb didn't really look at him until late in the game. I would put him somewhere in that same range, like that. I don't want to say 3.5 is probably too low. I would say in that 4.5-ish range for him too.
He's 3.5.
Yeah,
pretty low, man.
Yeah, it's
pretty
low
for a guy that I think is taking over.
With Rome back, wind, I think it's going to be a big running back game.
Yeah,
I think he gets to 5 maybe, but I could see it being like a 4-catch game. So you're right at that number. He's looking for Loveland, and any deep shots are going to be to Rome. So Burden underneath, but this is one of those games I could see him just kind of fading into the background a little.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Absolutely.
Unfortunately, because I think just get that guy the ball in space and watch him go.
And the yardage totals are interesting. Loveland's 45.5, Burden's 41.5, DJ Moore 25.5. My guy that I like always for the Packers is Jaden Reed. I just think he's an explosive guy. If you remember back when they played that game down in Brazil, I know it's 2 years ago, but that real wet game, and it was sloppy and everybody slipping and sliding, and he went berserk.
Yep.
So I think if they get behind and they have to throw, I like Jaden Reed with Watson banged up. No Dontavian Wicks. I don't think Reed's a bad little sprinkle at 35.5.
What is Dobbs' catch total?
Dobbs is only 30.5 yards. He's 2.5 receptions, but it's minus 135.
I think that's an easy over. Dobbs is like, I was watching the Packers the last few weeks. Dobbs is a safety blanket that Kraft was. So I could see Dobbs catching. Yeah, I don't think he's going to get a ton of yards, but I could see an easy 5 or 6 catches out of Dobbs.
So if we go Dobbs over 3.5 catches to get to 4 catches plus 175.
Yeah, I think that's
love it.
Yeah, I love that one. Yeah.
I'm with you. Somebody on that team's catching him.
Yep.
Watson's banged up. He's more the deep ball guy.
He's all deep ball. Yeah.
He's all deep ball. So he could get 100 yards, but it might be on 2 catches. So we're going Dobbs over 3.5 catches. And that's another one, plus 175. Love it, Jay. Beautiful. Anything else to add in this game? I just love the Bears. I
Yeah.
just
I hope you're right.
they
I
seem to
think
be that team almost of destiny. And I hate to say that, but like they've just been getting people to turn over. They've been making these crazy comebacks. They're
yeah,
young, they're hungry,
they're
they're
yeah, yeah.
healthier.
The crowd's gonna be electric. I
It's
mean,
gonna be
I
wild.
can't even imagine. I mean, I just the scars of 30 years of Rodgers and Favre and now Love just beating the Bears. I just it's just traumatic. I just
But now you're
my
fighting back, man. You got
and yeah,
Caleb, you got the
yeah.
head coach. I don't think they're scared, man. I think they're gonna
Oh, I
go
don't
in
think
there
they're
and they're
scared.
gonna go in there thinking they're gonna win that game.
Yep, I think so.
I
I
like that
hope you're
they're
right.
young. I like they're hungry. Sort of team of
Yeah,
destiny. If you look back 2 years ago, right? I would say that team sort of destiny. They didn't make it all the way. Was the Commanders, right?
yeah.
They were winning
Last
all
year.
these crazy
Yeah,
close
last
games, and
year.
look,
Right.
they made it to the finals, right? They made it to the
Right.
conference final. Another little play that I made was the Bears to win the NFC at plus 900. I love it. 9-1. I think, you could poke holes in every
Like
team and
you
you can
can.
also pump up every team, but
This
I
this is
think
what
the Bears have a chance.
I've been saying all along. The Bears are either going to be a quick one and done, or they're winning 3 games. They're getting to the NFC Championship. They're going to get to the NFC, at least the NFC Championship. They get by this one. They get a game at home next week. I feel good about pretty much. They can score with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I think once they get one, I think it's snowball. I'm with you. So
And
get
if
through this one.
Caleb's one of those guys, if he gets rolling, he really gets
Yeah.
rolling.
Yep.
Beautiful. So there you have it. We got Bears. It's now plus 1.5. When I took it as soon as the line came out and it was plus 1. I wish I would have got the half, but that's not really an important half. I
Yeah.
guess if they lose
Yeah.
by 1, I would have won instead of a
Yeah.
push. But that's not a huge deal. It's not going any higher than that. I really don't. A lot of the sharp people I listen to all like the Bears. Yes,
Yeah.
you have some of those Packers stats, but I don't think
It's a
this isn't the Favre Packers. This isn't the Rodgers Packers. They're really banged up on D. All
Yeah,
right.
it's funny. You listen to like the analysts, like the ESPN and the Fox Sports guys. Most of them are on the Packers, but you like you said, you listen to the betters, they're all on the
Mhm.
Bears. So
Yeah,
hopefully the money
exactly.
talks.
We'll go with the betters. We'll go with Las Vegas, right? All right. Now, just again for the viewers out there, that's an Amazon game, 8:00 tomorrow night. So again, here we go. We got to watch on Fox, then we got to go to Amazon. We got to bounce all over the place for these ball games. We got to tell people where the games are now. All right, let's fast forward to probably my second, not probably, it is my second favorite game. This is Sunday at 1:00 on CBS or Paramount
Yeah,
Plus.
that's an awesome.
Bills and the Jaguars. I absolutely love the Jaguars.
Do you?
A lot of people are not going to believe that. I think they are as underrated gets. They've won 7 in a row. Trevor Lawrence, if we had an MVP from week 10 on or whatever it is when they unleashed him, he's your MVP.
I think
absolutely lights out. And I know you don't we killed Trevor Lawrence.
Hold on. I'm going to say, you and I get credit, having me on. I think the last time I came on, I said, what has he done? And ever since then, he must have gotten old, tired of listening to 2 old guys just bash on him every time I came on, because this is what you wanted to see from him. I agree. My heart, I'm kind of like a Bills closet guy. I love Josh Allen. We've talked about that.
I know.
I want to say Bills, but I don't disagree with you. The Jags have been tough. They beat good teams. They win anywhere. They can win multiple ways. Listen, 20 years of number 1 picks. Eventually, you got some talent on that roster.
Yeah,
they are certainly using that talent.
7 straight, and not beating total pushovers and total slouches on the way there. They're just on a roll, man. They look so good. And now again, we've talked about this for the last 6-7 weeks. You can win a lot of money if you go to a bar and you ask some guy, oh, you know sports. Hey, who's got the number 1 rush defense in the NFL?
Mm.
And a lot of people are going to say Seattle. It's actually the Jaguars. They allow 89.5 a game. The other interesting thing, and this is why I love this matchup, you look at the Bills. The Bills are actually the number 1. I got to make sure that my ducks are all in a row. But I believe they are number 1 in the NFL in rushing.
They're right up there.
Yeah, because obviously what's his name? The running back.
Cook
he went berserk. And then you have Josh Allen's rushing, which counts for that. Let me see which team leads the NFL in rushing. Maybe Drin can look that up for us. Where do the Bills rank rushing the ball? They actually, I think, are the last place in throwing. They're last in throwing, I believe. I believe that's the case. They only throw for like 160-something yards a game.
The Jets have to be lower.
It must be. They're in the neighborhood. But anyhow, the long story short, it's a good matchup. because where the Bills want
Great
to run the
matchup.
ball, and the Jaguars have been stifling.
Great matchup. Great matchup.
Great matchup.
Yeah, this was a fun one for sure. This is
Yeah.
I'm surprised this is a 1:00 Sunday. I thought for sure this might. I know it's the Jags, but this one's got more juice than the next game. I think. I'd rather see this one at 4:30 on a Sunday.
And
As somebody who's got to leave at 1:30 on Sunday.
There's certainly a lot of people. I mean, the Bills are going to travel. There'll be Bills fans there. This is going to be a 60-40, 70-30 split. So they'll have their, the Bills Mafia will be in the building. There's no doubt about it. It's a huge game. Everybody's gotten on board for these Jags, but I just think I see them as almost being like almost a carbon copy of the Bears, but in the AFC. Opportunistic defense. Trevor Lawrence playing out of his mind. First year head coach. And I got little, very small ties to Liam Cohen, the head coach of the Jaguars. His father, this is kind of a funny story. His father was actually a member at my course in Tampa. He was a member. So I'll talk to him a little bit. I'm not trying to act like I haven't met him, but we talk a lot of ball and just, when he was looking at the job, he said he wanted to find the right head coach job. He thinks he's ready, blah, blah. And him waiting was a great move.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he picked that place because they had the quarterback in place.
Right.
A lot of the weapons.
A lot of good
great
pieces.
moves. They made it to deadline, bringing in Jacoby Myers. And all this while withstanding the loss of Travis Hunter, your number 2 pick in the draft, being able to withstand that. I mean, it's what they're doing is really, really awesome. And I just think there's something wrong with the Bills. And it's too bad, right? Because if you look at the Bills, this is the year, right? For Josh Allen, no Mahomes, no Burrow, no Lamar. It's gotta be Josh Allen's year. But I just don't think they have the team around me. And now let me ask you this. And there's some of the rumor mill. If the Bills lose, is the coach on the hot seat? Is the coach on?
I think I brought that up.
Harbaugh spot.
I think that there's a reason Harbaugh hasn't signed yet, or really said, I'm not waiting until next week. I'm waiting until next week. But I think I brought this up every time. Is it time for McDermott to go? I think it depends how they lose here. If it's a close game and the Jags pull something out at the end, maybe he survives. If they go in and get blitzed, then I don't think he's got a prayer.
Yeah. Hey, Drin, can you put that Gator got him comment up there, which I think
is a great comment.
Very underrated stuff in these big games, right? And here's an interesting one. Yeah, that kicker set the record 68. He's got a ridiculous leg. And especially with the new kickoff rules. And, most teams are getting the ball at the 35, right? Starting field positions way up from previous years, right? With that guy, you got to get 1 first down.
Yeah, right.
His leg, right. You got to get 15 yards, and you're in this dude's field goal range. Now, weather's going to be gorgeous. I wrote it down here. 60 degrees, perfect weather. Bills are first in the NFL for rushing. I thought so. So it's just a good matchup. I think the matchup is beautiful for the Jags. Here's the other thing. The Bills have problems with their kicker. Matt Prater is questionable. He's got a pulled hamstring. And as a Giants fan, we've had problems with kicker all year. So I know all too well when you don't have a good kicker. A kicker's important. We just saw how important a kicker was with the Ravens and the Steelers final game of the season. Special teams and all those little things really pop up in the playoffs. Everything in my mind is pointing toward the Jaguars. And the Bills, to a great point there that somebody brought up, they haven't been able to stop the run all year. They have not had that toughness. Ed Oliver, it looks like, is out. I know they got a couple other guys out. I mean, I just think this is just a smash spot for the Jaguars. And they are still getting +1 because I just think a lot of people think the casual guy who doesn't bet all year and just waits till, hey, I'm going to bet now that the playoffs, because now they're standalone games, right? Big game. I'm watching it with buddies and we're hanging out. Oh, I'm taking Josh Allen over Trevor Lawrence. Oh, I'm taking the Bills. The Bills make it to the conference championship the last 3-4 years. Not so fast. I think these Jaguars are for real. I also those are the 2 teams I took, the Bears and the Jaguars. Jaguars were +650 to win the AFC. I mean, it'd be an interesting Super Bowl. It wouldn't be one I think NFL executives dream up. But Bears Jaguars is legitimate thing. It's a legitimate chance.
They're all legitimate this year. I think other than Carolina, there's 13 teams that I could see in that game. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable this year. There's just nobody that you're like, that is a lock. Nobody.
And listen, that's what makes the NFL so great. That's what makes the NFL the big mad wolf, whatever you want to call it, the monopoly that they are. It's just so awesome. And any given Sunday, it's a cliche, but it's so true because anything can happen. Would you be overly shocked if the Panthers won? I mean, I'd be a little bit shocked, but they beat them already.
Yeah, right. And they're home, and anything can happen. No,
anything can happen. So let's get to the props a little bit. Now I know who I like. I am a huge fan of this guy. For whatever reason, I've seen a lot of Jaguars games this year or whatever, and I picked this guy up in a lot of my dynasty leagues. This Parker Washington, who has stepped in since Travis Hunter went down, has looked unbelievable. He's playing out of the slot. We know how a slot receiver is in a Liam Cohen offense. Mm-hmm. Look at what he did with Chris Godwin and, et cetera. I love Parker Washington over 51.5 receiving yards. I'm going to take him to get to 65, and it's plus 160. He has been absolutely tearing it up. What are your thoughts? You got any players you think you could see having a big team?
Looking at a number on the opposite side. I was looking at Dalton Kincaid.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw. If he got to 50, it was plus 152, and I could see that. I don't know what you have down there, but if they're going to throw to somebody, those tight ends are the two, right? I mean, they don't really have much on the outside. It's hit or miss with Shakir, and Coleman, forget it. And Cooks might have a sighting here and there, but they're going to have to throw at some point. Like you said, especially if they slow that run down, Dalton Kincaid could be an interesting one around 50 yards.
Yeah, and if what we're saying is right, with the Jags run defense being so stifling, they're going to have to throw the ball.
They're going to throw.
Right?
You're going to have to throw.
And who are they going to trust? That's the big problem with the Bills. Josh Allen has nobody he can really trust.
That's his problem. That's his whole problem.
Yeah, Shakir's a nice little receiver, but he's no deep threat. He's kind of a possession guy. Gets you 7-8 yards.
He should be a 3, not a 1. And that's the problem.
Yep, and that's been the problem. So I'm looking at Kincaid to get to 50 is plus 135.
Yeah, so again, a little higher up here, but yeah.
Yep, so we're going Kincaid to get to 40 is plus 135, and Parker Washington to get to 65 is plus 160. So there's our two prop bets to go along with Jaguars. Here's another interesting nugget, right? And I don't claim all these things are my own, right? But as you know, I listen to a lot of these podcasts, my way to work, this and that. We don't have the sports talk radio down here like we did up in the Northeast. But the guys that I really trust, I mean, these guys have been great all season for me and all these little nuggets that I get from them. So the Buffalo Bills average in the first quarter, losing by 1.5 points. If you total up all their first quarters, Jags are plus 1.2. So you got a 2.7 difference. Second quarter, the Bills are minus 2.5 points. The Jags are plus 4.6. So the Jags have dominated in the second quarter. And so if you total those up, I mean, that's Jags. That's 4.5 plus 1 point.
That's 7. That's like 7 points almost. Yeah.
And the Bills are negative. I mean, Jags first half seems like a layup play. I mean, coming out of the gates fired up. I mean, how many times have we seen him with Josh Allen? He's got to play Superman.
He goes nuts in that second half, right? Yeah.
And don't dismiss that injury that he had. I know he sat out. He did not look right in that. Who'd they play the week before the last week where they sat?
Philly.
Philly.
The Eagles, yeah.
He did not look like Josh Allen.
No, he didn't. No,
and I mean, a running quarterback with your foot. I mean, and he's a tough son of a gun. We all know that. He hasn't missed a start because even if you saw, he snapped the first one and then he sat out.
Right.
Just streak alive. Which, okay, whatever. But I wouldn't dismiss that foot issue. Now, on the Jag side of the ball, I want to see ETN's number.
I was just going to say, where does ETN land?
What do you think ETN's number is?
81.5.
64.5.
Wow, that's low.
Against the Bills' bad run defense. You like it? I think we like it. Bashal Tutin will play. He'll split. Bashal Tutin will get 5 carries or something, 4 carries. I guess it'll depend on game script too, right? If they're up big or whatever. But the Jags have just been pouring it on people. I love the Jaguars. Again, that's 1:00 Sunday, and that game is on. What did we say it was on? CBS?
CBS, I believe. Yes.
CBS. Okay. All right. let's move to 4:30. We got three more games to cover. So we got to we're doing good, though. We're keeping the pace up here. We're bringing you to that Indiana-Oregon game. Before we get to the 49ers, Eagles, any thoughts on the college? I know you're not a huge college guy. Any thoughts on this Oregon-Indiana game?
I have doubted Indiana all year, and I'm going to stop tonight. I'm going to stop it tonight. I'm going to get on the Hoosier wagon.
All right. Well, hopefully they win by 3 because I like Oregon plus 3.5.
Fair enough.
All right. Win by a field goal. Well, everybody will win. Everybody will be happy. All right. So we got 49ers now, this is an interesting one, as you see up on the screen. And Drin plugged these numbers in at like noon, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock today. This number has ballooned all the way to 6.
Oh, I saw 5.5 right before.
Yeah, it's up
here.
To
It was 5.5.
Hard Rock at 6.
Yep.
So that's a huge number. And that's Niners at Eagles. You all know if you follow the channel, follow any of my stuff. I love the Niners.
And you hate the Eagles.
And I hate the Eagles. So I can't bet Eagles. But I want to hear somebody else's opinion. What do you make of this game?
God,
that seems like a lot of points.
It seems like a lot of points. If Trent Williams doesn't play, I get it. I think the Eagles have kind of been smart and not pushed as 100, not gone 100% all year. Long season last year, very physical team at home. 6 is a lot of points.
And I'm seeing 41 degrees, 13-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah, so not bad. It's not going to be bad up here this weekend. It's not at all. Like, it's actually pretty mild for this time of year right now. 6 seems like a ton. I mean, again, this is like where you said the casual fan, right? So other than last week, 49ers offense has looked lights out the last 6 weeks, right? They've played awful defenses the last 6 weeks until they hit Seattle. So now you're facing a legit defense on the road, hostile environment. 6 seems like a ton. There's something going on. That's a huge jump.
It seems like a trap. It seems like a trap. They're wanting you to bet the Niners. They want action on the Niners, and they think that Eagles are going to blow them out. And I could see it. As much as I hate to say it, I could see the Eagles flipping the switch. They haven't looked right all year, but the Niners are so banged up.
So
banged up on defense.
I think he's going to play. Ricky Pearsall probably not.
No, Ricky Pearsall.
There is dinged up.
Trent Williams is going to play, but he's not going to be 100%.
I heard a crazy 49er stat that almost makes no sense. So since Kyle Shanahan became their coach, okay, if the 49ers are trailing by a touchdown or more at halftime, just take a wild guess how many wins they've had trailing only by a touchdown at halftime.
Oh, probably nothing. They're not built to come back.
So trailing at halftime since Kyle Shanahan took over, 1-29.
Wow.
So if you like the Eagles first half, they're 12-44 since Kyle Shanahan took over, just trailing it all at halftime. 12-44.
Wild.
That's insane. Insane.
Brock Purdy is not the same guy on the road as he is at home. They're very banged up. I see why this line has ballooned up. But 6 seems a little crazy. I'm not going to take the Eagles. I'm not doing it. But it might not be a bad play. Player prop wise, I mean, that defense is. We kind of been waiting for it all year. Does Barkley finally break through and go nuts? I mean, his number's 80.5. McCaffrey 63.5. I mean, who do you see having a big game? Can you?
It's so hard to tell.
This one's hard for me. This one's hard for me to really put a finger on.
They spread it around. Eagles spread it around a lot. I mean, I don't think they're going to be trying to force A.J. Brown the ball in a playoff game like they were in the regular season. So I don't know. Where's Dallas Goedert? He's always like one in these games he has big moments in these big playoff games. He's like Hurts. He's Hurts' safety blanket for sure.
He is 39.5 receiving yards.
It's probably pretty close. I could see a little over that, but
I could see it. I could also see the Eagles getting up and just, running 65% of the time and just pounding the ball. Yeah. I think in these games too, Jalen Hurts decides to take off a little more. He runs in the regular season, but I think when they get in these tight games, these playoff games, he really kicks into the gear running. Oh boy. I think to your point, I think if you like the Eagles, I think first half's a great play. I think first half Eagles minus, is it 3.5? A lot of times when it's 6, it's 3.5. Yeah, 3.5. It's a tricky number, but If they're going to win, I think they're going to get up big. I think if you like the Eagles to win, I think they probably will win this game big.
Yeah, I agree.
I can see the 49ers getting into trying to play catch-up mode, and they don't have the horses really to do it. They don't.
No,
It's
they're
Jawan
not built for
Jennings,
that.
Kittle
Right.
coming off an ankle injury, and Kittle was
Right.
one of my plays last week going under, and he went way under. Wasn't even
Yeah.
close. Purdy, if you force Purdy into having to throw where he's got to throw, he can turn into a little bit of a pumpkin.
Right. Get pressure on him. You see the difference. The Eagles will get pressure on him. The Bears didn't get pressure on Purdy, and he threw all over him. There's a difference right there. The Eagles will get pressure. Simmons has been good since he's been there. Carter up the middle. They will get pressure. It's going to – I get the 6 points. It seems like a scary number, but I think you're right. I could see the Eagles just pulling away pretty good in this one.
Yep.
I'm talking myself into that.
I know. Yeah, I'm not going to touch it, but I could totally see it. As far as player props, the Eagles are so tough. The Eagles are so tough.
They're tough.
Gator Gotham has a little play that he likes. Let me see. I'm assuming since you say Gator Gotham, you're probably a Florida guy. He says rushing yards for Hurts to get to 40 is plus 148. Let me see what I have for a number here. See how on the money that is. That's not terrible. I think Hurts may take off and run quite a bit. I have plus 150. So Hurts to get to 40 rushing yards. I could see that. These playoff games, I'd love to see his playoff. Let's take a quick peek while we have a little bit of time. Let's go to Jalen Hurts and see how he's performed playoff-wise. Let's take a look at last year's playoffs. Where'd they go in the playoffs last year? How far did they make it?
They won the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. Hello.
They went pretty far.
That would be pretty good. Does it show me why does it not show me his game log in the playoffs? This is only showing me regular season. Yeah, I'd have to try to look that up.
I'll see if I can pull it up.
See if you can find what Hurts is doing. Like the 4 games of the playoffs, or if they play 3 games, what he did in that playoff run. Because that's interesting. I like it. Thank you, Gator. Thanks for getting in, man. Love having the extra notes and the extra stats. I think that's a very live play. These big games, this is where those quarterbacks who do have the rushing ability, they kick it into gear. Because that's when we got to extend the play, right? We gotta. Nothing crushes a defense like 3rd and 6.
All right, I got you here, buddy.
Right,
ready?
Yep.
All right. Okay, so they opened last year, wild card game against Green Bay. He was 6 for 36.
Okay.
The monster in the divisional game against the Rams, 7 for 70 and a touchdown.
Woo.
NFC Championship game that they absolutely beat the snot out of Washington. 10 carries, only 16 yards, but it was 3 tush pushes for touchdowns.
Yeah.
So, and then in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, 11 for 72 and a touchdown.
Wow.
So for the 4 games in the playoffs, 34 carries, 194 for an average of 5.7, 5 touchdowns, a long of 44 against the Rams.
I love it. Gator got him, whoever you are. I love it. Thank you for coming in. I love this is the whole point of this show, this channel, having you guys in the chat. That's why I try to get people in the chat so much. I don't know everything, man. I think I do. I know some of the things I know. Got some conviction. Did not know all those stats. Love Jalen Hurts. His number's 32.5. If we go to 40, it's plus 150. We're adding it in. Courtesy of Gator got him. Jalen Hurts to get to 40 rushing yards. I want to look at something too, and I don't do a lot of these parlays, but if we take Jalen Hurts to get a rushing touchdown, or to get a touchdown, obviously it's going to probably be rushing, and we take him to get to 40 yards. Sometimes they don't let you do. Oh, that's huge. That's plus 287 little parlay. I could see that all day. Plus 287, $20 gets you a bunch. I like it, man. I like it. We're making an official play. Hurts. What were you gonna say? Anything else you got?
Just curious. What is his passing number? It's got to be.
Probably 10. Passing number for
just yardage.
Yards?
Yeah.
What do you think it is?
Like 210, 215.
I bet you it's lower than that. Dude, come on, you're on fire.
Right on the number?
209.5.
Well, I'm just looking at last year, right? So while I have these numbers, he was 131, 128, 246, 221. So 210 is
Under might
kind
not be it. And again,
of
goes with if we like, and look what Seattle just did to San Fran. They just ran it down their throat. So if they get up, you're going to run the ball more. And that could be one where you look at second half, going back to your stat. Let's say the Eagles are up, 17-3 at the half.
Yeah.
You take the under second half all day long. You take the under because we know San Fran, based on your stat, doesn't come back. And what are the Eagles going to do? They're going to run the crap out of the ball. So love it. And then obviously that also correlates with the Hurts under passing yards. Love it, man. Gator got him. Thank you so much. That's a great one. There you have it. There's Eagles and the Niners. All right, Sunday Night Football. Big one in the Northeast.
Yes.
Tough game for me. I'm excited to hear your thoughts because this is one I'm struggling a little bit with. And we got the Chargers at the Patriots. Patriots -3.5. Everybody's favorite, Drake May. I think he's going to come up short. I think he's going to be the runner-up. This game's on NBC.
Yes.
Patriots 3.5. Weather's not horrible. 33 degrees, light wind. Nothing major.
Not bad at all for a Sunday night.
46.5 total. Chargers, Patriots. Thoughts, Jay?
I think these are two of the hardest teams to figure out in this entire playoff bracket. The Chargers, by every measurable, shouldn't be in the playoffs. I mean, the offensive line is terrible. Defense has been solid. Defense has been very good. But the offense is it's Justin Herbert making things happen on offense. The Pats, I'll tell you, everybody up here is going bananas. They had, I don't know if you heard this, it's the easiest strength of schedule by any team in 26 years.
I know.
So how do you put a read on that? And that's why, to your point, I think May's coming up short in the MVP. You look at what Stafford had to play, and you look at what May had to play. And the list of quarterbacks May played against, and not to take anything away, what he's done has been unbelievable, and he looks amazing. And you said it a couple weeks ago, Stafford's going to get this is the lifetime achievement MVP for Matthew Stafford this year. And not that he doesn't deserve it for what he did this year, but this is a tough one. I mean, I don't see the Pats losing at home. I will tell you that. I'm going to pull for the Chargers as the Pats fans don't deserve to be back in the mix already. But they need to suffer longer from the Brady era, but good for them. Great organization, obviously, with what Kraft does and bringing in the right guys. And
yeah, and Herbert, it's interesting, right? Because Herbert obviously more seasoned, but he's got that stigma of not being able to win a big game and kind of choking when it counts. The game he choked against the Jaguars down here. And then obviously this is Drake May's first game. What I will tell you is that Chargers defense is legit. It's for real. They're number 5 in total defense, number 5 against the pass, number 7 against the run. Very, very good defensive metrics. When you look at total defense for the Pats are, 8th in total defense. So they're right up there.
But again,
you have eighth
against Bryce Young and Fields.
True.
And get the laundry list of bad quarterbacks they face this year.
Now they've also gotten healthy. Again, Spillane is playing. Is the offensive lineman there? Was it Will Campbell? Is he playing?
I think he's.
I'm pretty sure he's playing. Correct.
Is he back?
I think he is back. Let's check in on that. That's huge because they've got the Chargers have gotten after the quarterback pretty good. They've got to protect Drake May. Let's see. It's Will Campbell, right? Injury. I think he's back.
Yeah. It says he'll be back.
Yeah, he's returning. That's huge. And the Pats have been running the heck out of the ball. Drake May's been unbelievable. I agree with you. I tend to like the 3.5.
I like the 3.5.
That's a tough one, man. But I kind of agree with you. I think the Pats are going to win this game. I really do. I think the Pats win. I just don't trust the Chargers. You can't trust Herbert in a big spot. His receivers have let him down a bunch. And if Omarion Hampton was 100% and you say, hey, you can run the ball really good, but I haven't seen enough from Hampton yet.
No.
And I think the Patriots with the two-headed monster, great coach in Vrabel. Not saying obviously Harbaugh's a great coach. Right. This is an interesting game that I don't have a ton of conviction on.
Yeah, I just don't see the Pats losing at home. That's the only reason. That's the only reason. If it was in Los Angeles, I'd probably go the other way. I don't see it. I don't see it. Not to the Chargers.
You see or think could have a big, could have a huge game. Either running the ball, receiving the ball, any of that stuff. You know what's been interesting is, and I know he's got the injured hand, and now he's 4 or 5 weeks into having that injured hand. Herbert, he's run a lot this year.
He has run a lot.
He has
Out of necessity. They're
yes.
the 31st ranked offensive line in football this year. I mean,
he's had to deal
for
with
survival.
bunch.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
I mean, his rushing this year. I mean, let's see. I want to take a quick peek at his. Yeah, he's run for 498 yards, by far the most of his career. So he's been running a lot. His over-under on that is 28.5. So it's pretty inflated. That's a high number. Yeah, I could see Drake May maybe doing some running, 25.5, instead of forcing something, under duress, maybe playing a little safe, maybe playing a little tight in his first playoff game, maybe taking off and running a little more. His number is only at 25.5, and he's hit that number. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's only hit that number 6, 7 out of what have they played? 17 games. Yeah. 7 out of 17 games. So it's a little under 50%. But I think the sportsbooks are smart enough. They know playoff games guys tend to run.
He'll be running around. Yeah, he's going to have to. Pats are going to do some different things to get to him, and
I kind of like Drake May to get a touchdown. Could you see that? I could see Drake May running in a score. Plus 250. I don't think it's an awful play. I don't think it's terrible.
It's kind of like that Eagles 49ers games. There's just so many guys that just one week it's this guy, it's Henderson, and then next week it's Stevenson, and the Chargers it's Keenan Allen comes out of the back from the dead, and then Gadsden forgot that he's on the team, but maybe he comes back this week. So you never know which one of those guys it's going to be.
And how about, going to dynasty football, which I play? I liked him coming out, but I think he got overhyped. Ladd McConkey, what a bad second season. I was telling, I don't tell everybody because obviously I play in these leagues. I'm competing with these people, but I told some friends, my inner circle, like I would trade McConkey in a heartbeat, sell high on him because I think he's going to be he's a good player.
Yeah.
But I think out of necessity last year, he got fed. And I just knew he was not going to live up to the hype.
Yep. Fair.
Yeah. So Gator got him is in the chat again, and a couple good points. The Chargers have played a very, very tough schedule. Last 5 games faced Denver, Texans,
100%.
Eagles, Chiefs. A lot of tough defenses. The only thing I would argue with the Pats is having that Spillane guy back is huge, and the Pats D was pretty solid and still is pretty solid. They're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're the 8th ranked defense in the NFL. So they've been pretty good. Let's see how they break down passing versus rushing. Pats, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th against the pass. I know early in the season they were number 1 against the run. They kind of fell off a little bit. They were 6th against the run. So still, listen, I get what you're saying, and I get that they didn't have this strength of schedule. But all you can do is play the guys in front of you, right?
That's right.
You can only beat the teams you're playing.
That's right. And honestly, you can make that argument for most of these. There's a reason this year is so wide open, and that is part of it. There's question marks on every one of these teams. The Pats are unproven, the Jags unproven, Bears unproven, and are streaky. Chargers are the Chargers. They tend to choke in these situations. We haven't gotten to Houston yet, but Houston's like that. You never know what you're gonna get out of them. So, yeah, I mean, I agree. Gator got him. Agree. I think Chargers hang around, but living up here, the Pats don't lose these games at home. They just don't. The crowd, the atmosphere, the area, they are not losing. I'm telling you right now, the Pats are not losing Sunday night.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to touch the game, but I think, and you know me, I am big on the underdogs. I like the Pats here. Yeah. I really do. And I hope that maybe it goes to 3. At 3.5, I'm probably not going to touch it. It's probably got a better chance to go to 4 than it does 3. If it touches 3 for a little, I might sprinkle some of the Pats after we spend our winnings on the Jaguars and the Bears and all these other props leading up to it. I might do a little sprinkle. Player prop wise, again, it's hard. Does Gadsden have a game? Does McConkey have a game? Do they go to Quentin Johnson? Do they go to Trey Harris? Hampton's kind of questionable. I can't put my finger on what the hell these Chargers are going to do. No. And the Pats, the same thing. They're playing a tough D. You want to say, hey, they run the ball like crazy with Ramondre. But, again, they just did that against the Jets, and they've done it against some bad defenses.
Right.
I have a tough time. I think if I leaned anything, it might be to take Drake May to get a rushing touchdown and maybe Drake May's over rushing total with that 25.5. The rushing for the other characters in this game, Marion Hampton's 45.5. But how healthy is he, right? If he was full
you've seen
strength,
nothing yet, right?
55 or 60. Ramondre Stevenson's interesting because they have Travion Henderson at 53.5, and they've got Ramondre at only 38.5. And I love Travion Henderson, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but they've fed Ramondre in these games. He has not gone away. They, for whatever reason, they feed him.
Yeah, they love him. They love him. Even with the fumbles and everything, they love him. They love him.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know what that is? That is, they're giving credit to the Chargers D, and they're saying Henderson's more explosive, so he might break one for
a
30.
big one.
Yeah, he'll break a 30-yarder at some point.
Ramondre just broke a 50-yarder.
Yeah, against who they play?
Yeah, it was against Miami.
Yeah. So again,
here's let's take a look at this though. Here, real quick. Last 5 games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, he's gone over this number.
Yeah.
His last 5 games, he's gone 40, 50, 51, 47, 131. I mean, he's gone over this number 5 in a row.
Yeah, that's a good call right there.
He's gonna get. He's
getting 10 or 12 touches or carries easy.
I think worst case 10. So can he get the 4 yards of carry? I don't know. Cold game with Campbell back.
Yeah.
If I'm taking a prop, I'm taking the Stevenson prop over 38.5. And I might sprinkle Drake May to get a rushing touchdown. All right. And that game is on NBC Sunday night.
Yeah, that's a Sunday night NBC.
All right.
Yep.
So now we go to the final ball game, Monday Night Football on ESPN/ABC. Texans and the Steelers. Let's make sure our line is updated. Houston -3 in Pittsburgh. Weather, I've got 34 degrees. So, your typical cold. Saw some crazy stats about a dome team going and playing in under 40 degrees. Let me make sure I wrote it down. Well, I say wrote it down, but I put it in my phone. But you get the deal. Let me see. I want to make sure I have this right. All right, ready for these stats. And obviously this is going to lead to my play. The last 10 years, there's been 15 teams that have been a dome team. They've gone on the road in the playoffs. Temperature's been below 40. They're 1-14 straight up. Okay? Now, Pittsburgh, and this goes back, I think it was 3 weeks ago. It was our huge play. It was our biggest play of the week. On Monday night under Mike
Dogs. Yes.
Not even home dog. They're 25-1 straight up on Monday night under Tomlin. And now we're getting him +3. I liked it a little more when it was 3.5.
Yep.
Tomlin as a dog. If you put the two teams up against each other, obviously the Texans have a better roster. But here's my thing with the Texans. And here's my thing in playoffs. Obviously, defense wins championship. You've got to be able to run the ball a little bit. And I don't think the Texans can run the ball. I think the weakness of the Steelers is their run defense. But the Texans don't scare anybody running.
No.
Double team Nico Collins, and let's keep our butts in the game. I love the Steelers +3.
And going in like 2 weeks ago, I'm like, man, I love Houston. And then this matchup hit, and I was like, I don't love Houston anymore. And you know how I feel about Aaron Rodgers. I can't stand the guy. He is going to win Monday night. It sickens me to say it, but he is going to win Monday night.
Yep. I think they're going to find a way. They're going to find a way. And certainly giving me 3 points. Could I see the Texans win? But they're not some explosive offense, right?
No,
I don't think the Texans, unless the Steelers are turning the ball over and Rodgers just has an atrocious game, throwing pick sixes or something. I don't think they can just run away from the Steelers because they're not some juggernaut offense.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think you're 100% right. Yep.
I mean, their defense is legit. But as far as offense goes, Houston is, they're a little better than I thought they were.
Yeah,
They're middle of the pack.
Yeah.
But they don't run the ball.
They don't run the ball. No, I get you. Nope.
They are, bottom third of the league running the ball. And nobody's scared of Woody Marks. Nick Chubb's a shell of himself.
Right.
Steelers at home, man. Those terrible towels are going to be waving. I don't know. Maybe a letdown. A little bit, maybe a letdown from the Ravens game.
Maybe, but I don't think so. And then you hate to say somebody's due for a win or a loss, but the Texans haven't lost since Halloween, before Halloween.
Wow.
At some point, you just run out of gas.
And they're on a roll. But again, there is something to that dome team.
Yeah.
Obviously, you hear the stat, right? There's a reason that stat is valid. I think it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, so I agree with you here.
Give me 3 points all day long. I'll take the field goal on my side, just like I took the Steelers, was one of my big plays last week. I'm going to take them getting the points, especially at home, especially at night, and even more so 25-1 on Monday night. And weather's not super duper crazy. So those are my thoughts on the ballgame. All right, now let's go. Any players, any player props? Again, this is a kind of an ugly one.
Yeah, this is an ugly.
DK Metcalf's back. You throw a wrinkle in that. I mean, what I've seen and what I've played the last couple weeks is Jaylen Warren total catches over. Oh my God, he's over 1.5 against huge juice though. But I took Jaylen Warren last week to get to 4 catches, and it was like plus 250 or something. That was money in the bank. Jaylen Warren to get to 4 catches. You ready for this? Plus 425.
Wow.
That is crazy. And I know they use Gainwell out of the backfield, but they certainly use Jaylen Warren too. Jaylen Warren, ready for this? Last week he had 5 catches. I mean, I guess he's only got to the 4 number a handful of times this year. But man, at plus 400, that seems pretty live to me. And then here's another one that I've been saying a little bit, Jay, kind of a guy that I am a stand for or whatever. I think if you put Pat Freiermuth on a team that actually featured the tight end and utilized him.
Yeah, he's very good.
I think he's a top 10 talent tight end wise in the NFL. So these big games, and you saw it last week.
Yeah,
he had a pretty good game.
Good game last week. Some big catches.
So let me see what his number is. Freiermuth, 33.5. Let's see what he's been up to. And his receptions, 3.5. If he gets to 4, he's even money. So let's see what Freiermuth has been up to. And I got to look. He spells his name weird. There it is. Yeah, it's like Freie. All right. So the last couple games, obviously big games, right? Playoffs on the line. 3 catches for 51, 3 catches for 63, 4 for 20, 3 for 45. So he's gone over this 33.5 number in 3 of the last 4 weeks. So I like a little sprinkle on that Jaylen Warren. I like a little sprinkle on this Pat Freiermuth number too. 33.5. So if we take him to get to 40, we're looking at plus 125. And he's hit it 3 of the last 4. I think that's pretty live. Mm-hmm. Texans side of the ball. I mean, if you're the Steelers, you're ganging up on Nico Collins, right?
Yeah.
You're going to trust that you can stop the run with your front 7. You're ganging up on Nico Collins. Does Jaden Higgins, who's kind of been coming on a rookie second rounder, has been playing, or Dalton Schultz? Do they?
Well, did you see Gator got him? Did you see it? You were looking down. You might have missed his last post there.
Oh, he likes to jump off the Schultz.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could see it. It's going to be cold, chilly. Schultz is 4.5 catches to get to 6. He's plus 150. I don't hate it. This Jaden Higgins over 2.5 is plus 105. I don't mind that. I mean, last week he went berserk, didn't he? I think the last couple weeks
he had a huge week. Yeah.
You see that a lot of times with rookies, kind of like that Luther Burden thing, kind of like the Colston Loveland coming on strong late in the year.
Yep, just takes him a few weeks to get used to it. That's all.
Yeah, he's only had a couple catches. He said, he had the big play against the Chargers, 2 for 88. They're just, I really like Stroud, but you have some moments where you watch him and you're like, what are you doing? Almost like that he's gotten a little gun shy from getting hit so much because their old line's been bad. And he just drifts. He's throwing his pass and he's like 15 yards back. He's dropping back way back.
Yeah, he hasn't looked the same. I mean, they played well this year, but he does not look like the quarterback he looked like that rookie year. The first maybe 5-6 games last year. He just hasn't been the same guy.
All right, I found one I like. I found something I like. Woody Marks, he's the rookie running back. He's going to be the primary guy. I mean, you're going to get a little bit of Nick Chubb, but I
Yeah.
love Nick Chubb, but he's not Nick Chubb anymore.
No, he's not. Yeah.
Over 1.5 catches for the running back, dumping off out of the backfield. That seems like an absolute layup.
Mm-hmm.
Woody Marks, let's see what he's done over. And he's kind of came into the NFL when he was drafted, because I follow this stuff being obviously in dynasty football. He came into the NFL being known as being a pass catcher. Like that was kind of his thing. I mean, he had 2 catches last week. It was for 0 yards, but he had 2 catches. I mean, he's going to get 2 to 3 targets. I mean, early in the year, he was catching more balls. I think just in the playoffs with a tough D and you want to get the ball out quick with that pass rush, I love it. I'm taking Woody Marks, man. What do you think about that? You got any thoughts on it?
Yeah, no, that seems like an awfully low number for a running back. So,
Dude,
yeah,
that's
like a solid play right there.
Especially the one that's out there for third downs. He's going to be out there for third downs. They don't put Chubb out there for third downs. All right, there you go. It's minus 110, so there's no like plus money. Woody Marks, 2 catches. I mean, he might get 2 dump offs on the first drive. I love it, man. I love it. We love the Steelers. We like that Freiermuth. We're going to take Freiermuth receiving. We're going to take him to get to over 33.5. 40 is only plus 125, so I'm going to stick with the over 33.5. It's not anything over. Now, you're up in Connecticut, so that completes those games. Obviously, I told you who I like. I like the Bears to win the NFC. I like the Jags. We got plus 650, plus 900 on the Bears. What are you thinking? You got a dark horse? You got a favorite? Give me your Super Bowl.
Listen, I mean, I picked Rams Bills before the season, and they're both still alive.
Still alive. That's good.
I still kind of like the Rams. I know I heard what you said with the early peak, and that could be. I like McVay. I like the Rams. I would go Rams, and the AFC.
AFC is so tough.
I'm gonna stick with my preseason pick. I think the Bills get hot. I know I said I like the Jags. I think the Bills win a game. It's kind of like the Bears thing I said. When they get through the first one, look out.
Yeah.
Josh Allen's gonna make something happen. He knows it's on him. I'll go Bills Rams. It's not really the one I want. Obviously, I hope you're right. I hope it's Bears Jags, but I'm gonna go Bills Rams, and I'm just gonna ride it out.
Yeah, and I like the Rams to win the game. I just think it's gonna be a close game.
I get you. I agree exactly. 10.5 is a huge number.
Oh, we got Brian Exner. Fly, Eagles, fly. Come on.
Get out of here. Shut that guy off.
My night, Brian Exner. Oh, wait. You're ruining my night. Nah, get the Eagles out of here. Although if you go back and listen, I don't know if you just tuned in, we do and as much as it hurts me because I like the Niners, we do think it's a really good spot for the Eagles. And something's fishy with that line. With that line being all the way up at 6, that's a lot of points. They're kind of begging you to take the Niners.
Yes.
So we do like the Eagles there as much as it hurts me. No official play, and we do like Eagles first half. We like the Eagles first half, if anything. minus 3.5, we do like. And if you're just coming in late, we're going to end the show pretty soon here because we want to get you out to watch Indiana and Oregon. If you watched the channel earlier, I gave my play on Oregon plus 3.5. So we're hoping for an Indiana win by 3, so we all win. And lastly, before you go, my New York Giants, I want an outside opinion. We've got to be, now that the Ravens job is open, that's kind of an enticing job. But I think the Giants got to be near the top of the list with all the young talent and have the quarterback in place. What are you hearing up there? I mean, I'm cool with Harbaugh. I'm cool with Stefanski and offensive mind. What are you hearing? Well, give me your outside.
Up here, obviously those are the 2 names you've heard. It was right away. It was Stefanski. Then it was Harbaugh. I think Gator got him, put it up there. I think Harbaugh winds up in Miami. I do. I just think they have ties, and Ross is just going to do something crazy to go get Harbaugh. And I think that's okay. I think Stefanski's the guy. The problem I think the Giants are going to have all of a sudden, and it's crazy to say it, I think the Raiders' job is very attractive. $100 million in cap space, number 1 pick, and Tom Brady being there is going to bring some credibility and some stability to that organization. I still think if I was the fancy, I would go to the Giants. The Giants are much closer. I think the
Raiders are
Giants.
still really far away. They got a lot of
Yeah,
holes.
they got a lot of pieces. They got to make some decisions. Crosby's getting older. They have some more question marks. Is Genty legit? Is Genty gonna get better if the offense gets better? I don't know. Um, so yeah, I mean, if in the Giants, I think Stefanski's the guy. I think Stefanski winds up there.
Yeah. And I'd be totally cool with that. We
Yeah,
just need
yeah,
a proven coach. We got to stop trying these new guys. We need a proven coach. We
yeah.
got to go to a proven
Yep.
coach now. It's
What
that
would you think
kind of
if not?
unfortunate that we're going to lose Kafka most likely because
Yeah,
I think he was a good OC. You
yeah.
saw a lot of growth with Dart. What were you going to say?
Would you want like a Brian Flores? What are your thoughts on Flores?
I
Because
don't
I think
love.
he's better than he gets credit for.
Yeah, I don't like how, man, it's tough. Like, because some of these stories that came out about this Tua thing where he was
Yeah,
really all over him.
yeah,
There's part of me that likes that old school coaching, but you have to remember you're dealing with grown men now.
yeah,
I think Florida go to college and do that. We saw that with Urban Meyer, right?
yeah.
He came out and I guess he would like really, some of these stories that come out, he would belittle guys, and in the film room he would really get on them. These are grown men that are paid to really call people out like that and treat people that way. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like the old school. I want an offensive guy.
I agree with it. I think you
I
need
want
an
an
offensive
offensive. I
guy. I
gotta
think you
see
need an
Dart.
offensive guy. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't, and Colin Coward says it all the time, if you don't get the offensive guy and you get Brian Flores, he's got to go find the next great offensive coordinator. And then what happens in a
That
year?
guy doesn't last
He's
long because he
gone.
gets a new job.
He's
Yes.
Ben Johnson. He's Liam Cohen. Clint Kubiak is going to leave Seattle probably. He's a guy. I mean, there's a name. If you're going to go coordinator, that's a name. I think he was in today for an interview, maybe with the
Who's
Giants.
that?
What, Clint
Oh yeah,
Kubiak?
Kubiak. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was.
So there's some. I mean, yeah.
We need
Go
an
offense.
offensive mind.
You have to go offense. You have to.
Yep. Because you can find that great defensive coordinator, and those defensive coordinators don't get those head coaching jobs immediately. A great offensive mind is going to get a bunch of offers.
Yes.
Right. Colin. And look at what the Bucks kind of get caught with their pants down, right?
Right.
They stayed committed to Todd Bowles, even though we all know. I think everyone knows that guy's a coordinator. He's not a great head coach.
Right.
He's a coordinator.
Yeah.
And they lose Cohen, and now they're left with no OC right now.
Look at the Bucks and look at the Lions out of the playoffs after last year being two of the top 3 seeds.
Yeah, the way I described it, because I'm obviously down here in Tampa, and I described it to a couple of people who were really upset that Bowles is back. I said, listen, it would have been a really hard decision and discussion to have, but it's almost like Phil Jackson taking over for Doug Collins. Yeah. They should have gave the reins to Liam Cohen. Thank you for your service for Todd Bowles, but we've reached our peak with you. Yeah. And those are tough. And that's why Jerry Krause gets killed, right? Rest in peace, the Chicago Bulls. I know you're a Bulls fan. Right. But, that's a tough decision. But that decision led them to a bunch of championships. And that's not easy to take a team that went to the playoffs and say, hey, but we've got the guy in the building that we think could take us to the next level.
Yeah, you're right.
And now they got no Cohen. And now look what he's doing.
Right. Yeah.
So by being loyal, unfortunately, that cost them their OC, and now they're in a tough spot.
They're in a tough spot. Yep, they don't look good all of a sudden, and they fell apart fast.
Yep, absolutely. So my picks are Bears against Jaguars. I'm not picking a winner yet. We've got Jay with Bills, Rams, his preseason prediction, and I think the Rams could get hot. And that's, again, we've talked about it 3 or 4 times already. You could poke holes in each one of these teams, and you could also paint a picture where they go all the way. Your 2 number 1 seeds sit and lurk, the Seahawks and the Broncos. Certainly 2 really good defenses, 2 teams with awesome home field advantages. To get to the Super Bowl, you're going to have to go through there. But I kind of hang my hat and I think back. It's hard for me to get it out of my head that the Giants had the Broncos blown out for a while. Yeah. And so I just don't know with the rookie quarterback. I like Bo Nix. And then you have Sam Darnold, right? Who turns into a pumpkin in these big games. So they have holes. Even these 1 seeds have holes. It's
amazing. And nobody even talks about those. Well, you listen to anybody. Nobody has said Seattle, and nobody has said Denver that I've heard. So
yeah, and obviously they're not playing this weekend, so it's kind of easy to have them out of sight, out of mind a little bit. But your number 1 seeds are not your traditional number 1s, and we've said it all year. There's been a lot of parity, and that's what makes the NFL so great. I didn't do the numbers, but I mean, you gotta think. I mean, let's obviously the Jaguars, huge turnaround. from bad to the playoffs. The Patriots, huge turnaround from bad to the playoffs. The Bears, huge turnaround from bad to the playoffs. What the Niners are doing with all the injuries. Panthers being in the playoffs first time in a while. What do you give me right before we go? Give me your coach of the year. And obviously, you've got a little bit.
I'm going to say Ben Johnson.
It's my opinion, outside looking in, Ben Johnson, Liam Cohen, the Seahawks coach. You can make an argument for the Niners coach with all the injuries he's had to battle with. I think those are your front runners. Mike Vrabel's up there.
Yep.
I think those are your front runners.
So I almost feel like, and you can, and I think you should make a case for all four of those guys. I would almost say it's like when the votes cancel each other out. So Cohen, Vrabel, Ben Johnson all cancel each other out. They're all in the same position, took terrible teams, flipped them in a year, and are all in the playoffs. What Shanahan did with a MASH unit, quarterback out most of the season. Mac Jones was your starter for how many weeks? 6 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
And you are a game away from the 1 seed in the NFC. Kind of one of those like Matthew Stafford. Is this his lifetime achievement award? Yeah, guy's been an unbelievable coach there. I
think they had to get the 1 seed. He would have got it.
I think if he got, I agree. I think that's going to hurt him. Not getting the 1, but so you can make a case for any of them. I think Ben Johnson had the most pressure, and this is not just me being a biased Bears fan. You listen to sports, especially national sports. That's all. They don't talk about the Jags. Up here, they talk about the Pats. They don't talk about the Pats on that. Every analyst, every show, it is Ben Johnson. It's Caleb Williams. Are they going to make it? Is it going to work? And they did. So
yeah, because you got a number one pick in the draft, young guy who's polarizing, and you got the chosen one offensive coordinator in Ben Johnson. Now, if that's the case and you like that, Jay, you ready for this? This is nuts. I just brought this up. Mike Vrabel is a heavy favorite as coach of the year. Mike McDonald plus Vrabel's minus 275.
That's crazy.
Mike McDonald plus 275. Liam Cohen plus 800. Ben Johnson plus 5,000.
Oh my
$10
God.
bet. $10 bet wins you 500.
I have to do that. We might have to throw some juice on there. And again, this is where strength of schedule, right? So it's the Drake May argument with MVP. Who did the Pats beat? Right. You won your games, and I'm not taking that away from you. You won 14 games. Great, you did. But you beat Justin Fields. You beat Tua. You beat
I think that's an
Spencer
incredible
Rattler.
Bet.
That is an incredible bet. That's incredible bet.
Now, here's the question. When do they vote on that? Do they vote after the playoffs?
I don't know.
I think it's supposed to be in a regular season.
I think they vote now so you don't get the playoffs to influence, and then they announce the Super Bowl weekend, right?
Yeah. Let me see. I'm looking it up here. This is where AI comes in handy. Yeah, they vote for it at the end of the regular season. So it's voting. Yeah, the voting stops before the playoffs. I think he's got a chance. I mean, 10 to win 500.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
That's absurd for a guy I think has a legitimate shot at it. All right, Jay, you got anything to add before you head out of here? I think this is a record for me. Hour and a half getting out.
Hour and a half. Yeah, that was great.
Beautiful.
Always a pleasure, buddy.
There you have it, folks. I'll give you we're going to let Jay get out of here. I'm going to watch Indiana, Oregon. I'm going to zip through real fast our plays that we like and then get you out of here so you can watch Indiana, Oregon. Thanks to my new producer, Drin, for being in the house. Great job putting up those graphics, putting up the chat. Thanks for being on here. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. We got so many good shows on Pop Sports. And actually, we took that little time off. It's actually going to be growing. They're going to have a lot of shows. So there's actually going to be a show starting next week that comes on right after me. So each night there's going to be like 2 or 3 shows and cover different stuff. Like my specialty is NFL. It's going to transform into college basketball. It's going to transform into some golf, some baseball, some off-season NFL, some fantasy football stuff, some dynasty. Those are my specialties. I'm not NBA anymore. Used to be, not NBA anymore. I'm not NHL. I'm not college football. But we're going to have shows for all those things. We have different people that's what they do. That's what they cover. And we hope it's entertaining. We hope it's interactive, and we hope you have fun. So please share, like, subscribe. I'm going to be doing plenty of shorts about these games and what we talked about. Thank you for being in the chat. Gator got him. Brian Exner, appreciate you. Earlier we had Keith Rice in there. Thanks for being on. Love some of those stats. I mean, we would have never probably uncovered that Jalen Hurts stat for all the rushing if he wasn't in here. So thank you very much. Real quick recap. So we like Carolina plus 10.5. We think Rams probably win the game, but we think that's a live number at 10.5. I liked it a little more than Jay because obviously Jay has the Rams going all the way. We love the Bears plus 1.5. Absolutely love the Bears. We like some of the Colston Loveland stuff to take a peek at. Absolutely love the Bears. We like the DeAndre Swift to get to 80 yards. We think DeAndre Swift gets a ton of running. We love the Jaguars over the Bills. I like it obviously more than Jay because Jay has the Bills going all the way. But we think the Jags are severely overrated by the casuals. What I would also tell you, if you like Jags with us, wait until game time because the casuals are going to bet on the Bills. They think Josh Allen's going to do it all. We think the Bills are banged up. We think they're a little bit soft on the defensive line. Absolutely love the Jags. Niners, Eagles, we gave you kind of that stuff. We love the Jalen Hurts thing, over 39.5. In that, going back to Jags, Bills, we like Parker Washington, over 64.5 receiving yards, plus 160. We like Dalton Kincaid, 40 receiving yards, plus 135. We like Jalen Hurts, over 39.5 rushing yards, plus 150. We switch over to Chargers, Pats. We didn't have a ton of great feelings about that game. We think the Pats are going to win. Kind of too close to call and make a bet on that. As far as props, the only thing we really kind of uncovered was maybe Drake May to rush a touchdown in and Ramondre Stevenson over 33.5. Was it 33.5? Right. That's a pretty good number, man. It might have been 38.
I thought it was 38.5.
Yeah, I think it is 38.5. You're right. Yeah, 38.5 for Ramondre Stevenson, but he's hit that number 4 games in a row. And then finally, Monday night, love Tomlin as a dog. All those stats, 25-1 on Monday nights, 1-14, I think it was, for dome teams on the road in the playoffs, straight up. So that is a huge stat with Houston playing outdoors under 40 degrees Monday night. Love Tomlin. We like Woody Marks over 1.5 catches, couple of dump offs, and we like Pat Freiermuth over 33.5 receiving yards. There you have it. That's the weekend update with Destino. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back again with you next week for the divisional round. We might have Jay on if you know, obviously busy guy. He's got 2 kids, both playing a ton of sports. We got a lot going on. If he can join us, he's more than welcome to come on anytime because we love having you. If not, we'll either find a guest or it might just be me, Destino, and we'll get you fired up for divisional weekend. Have a great rest of your weekend, folks. Like and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you on the flip side. We'll see you in some short videos coming up soon. Thanks again, Jay.
Anytime. Go Bears.
Bears Jags. Bears
Jags.
Ben Johnson, Coach of the Year. Plus 5,000. That's worth $10. That's worth $5.
What do you think Bears Jags preseason Super Bowl odds would have been?
Oh my God.
Plus 50. 50,000.
You know there's somebody out there that has that ticket.
Yeah, somebody.
Somebody has that ticket. All right, man.
All right, buddy.
Love you, buddy.
Thanks.
Be good. Have a good weekend. We'll see you soon.
See you, pal.